Hello and welcome back to this week's week ahead reading. So, this is a reading for the energy of the week that starts April 27th. And I'm going to show you the animal card and the rune that I have pulled for this week for us in just a moment. But first, I want to just kind of set the stage for a little bit of the energy of this week. And I guess first off, if you are new here, thank you for being here. If you've been here before and you're tuning back in, thank you so much for being here as well. My name is Shannon. I'm a shamanic practitioner. I'm a womb care worker, and I really love tapping into the energy of the week at the beginning of the week and just kind of seeing what guidance is there for the week ahead as we move into it. I do not believe in tapping in and trying to predict what's going to happen. My readings are never about that. My readings are just a tap into what is the overarching energy this week. How can we meet it? How can we support ourselves with the energy this week as it comes? How can we flow with the energy that is coming and moving and flowing towards us this week? So let's talk a little bit of a couple of astrological things this week. End of this week, on May 1st, we have a full moon, and it's a full moon in Scorpio. It is at 11 degrees Scorpio. So if you are really into looking at your chart and looking at the degrees, you can look and see if you have anything around 11 degrees Scorpio. If so, you're going to feel this a little bit more intensely than someone who doesn't have anything around 11 degrees Scorpio in their natal chart. And the full moon happens on May 1st. It's like 1:20 p.m. Eastern time-ish. So you can kind of do the calculations from there based on what time zone you're in to see when that moon's going to hit you. And Scorpio is a deep sign, right? So a full moon in Scorpio is usually quite illuminating. Sometimes it can be a bit confronting of things that we have been hiding inside ourselves that we don't want to look at or confront, or that we need to look at and confront. And the moon's like, I'm going to shine a light on this. It's time for you to look at it. So full moons in Scorpio can be slightly more intense moons. And also, leading up to this moon, this weekend, actually, so yesterday, or late 25th, the day 25th, or earlier the day 26th, depending on your time zone, Uranus moved into Gemini. So that is another one of our big outer planets that has changed signs this year. So in 2024, we had Pluto move into Aquarius, right? That was our first big shift. And then we've had Saturn and Neptune move into Aries this year. And now we have Uranus moving in, or has just moved into Gemini to stay. And I'm forgetting something there. Those are big ones, I think. I feel like I might be forgetting something, but I also may not be. There's just a lot. There's been so much that's been happening. Keeping it all straight sometimes. It's like, whoo. Anyway, my point being, we've had our outer planets all shifting in the last mostly few months, except for Pluto that moved at the end of 2024. That's big energy. That's big change. You have likely been hearing from everyone who's talking about the energy right now, how much 2026 is a year of big energetic changes. And a lot of that is reflected in the skies and is reflected in how these outer planets are moving into new signs and new places and impacting new parts of our personal natal charts and our collective astrological charts, like the charts of countries, for example. So been really, really interesting to have all of this new energy coming in. And now we have one more planet in the mix that just moved into a new sign, Uranus into Gemini. And so that's going to be interesting. We're going to have to see what that one brings, right? Uranus is a planet of refining. It refines and it brings us into what works. So it's like, it can be disruptive. It can bring some chaos. But in the goal, or with the goal of creating refinement, what's actually working, what's not working. If it's not working, let's get it out of here. If it's working, let's make it work more. Let's pour our energy into that. So we just had that happen right before I'm recording this. And then at the end of this week, we have our full moon in Scorpio. And so just this may be a week of illumination. This may be a week of, that's what's been working. That's what hasn't been working. And here's how I want to approach and maybe fix or bring balance to these things that are not working. Other thing about this week is that May 1st is also Bealtaine in the Celtic tradition, which is where I work from most of the time. And so that is also known as May Day. May 1st, beginning of May, that celebration of the light truly coming back. You know, we are halfway between the spring equinox and the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere. So the light is, we now truly have more light in the day than we have dark, right? And when we get to summer solstice, obviously we have way more light than dark, and then it will slowly start to titrate back down as we move to the fall equinox. And so May Day is this, it's a May Day in Bealtaine. It is a celebration of the light. It's a celebration of, we are truly in the light part of the year now. And so it is a really beautiful time this week. And, you know, it falls traditionally or popularly, it is celebrated on May 1st. This isn't actually like Bealtaine, this celebration between the equinox, the spring equinox, and the summer solstice, is a astronomical date. Really, it's meant to celebrate exactly the exact point between those two events during the year. So it doesn't always astronomically fall on May 1st. And this year actually astronomically falls on May 5th. So I just always find that really interesting. I like to bring that in when I talk about the cross quarter days, because they don't always fall exactly on the date that we celebrate them on the calendar. But because we so often celebrate things based on what the calendar is, I did want to bring up that Bealtaine is May 1st. It is the same day as this full moon if you are celebrating it following the calendar. And so it's a great day. You're going to get some illumination probably with that full moon in Scorpio. And it's also a good day to celebrate the light, celebrate the sun, and over the weekend as well. Celebrate the light, celebrate the sun. You could like have a celebratory meal. You could light a candle and meditate with it. You could go sit in the sun and really safely sunbathe, right? However much your body can handle, whatever amount feels good to you, to go sit in the sun and allow the sun to nourish you. I would highly recommend taking a little bit of time to tap in to the celebration of, we are in the light part of the year. We have moved through the underworld, right? Every year we move through the underworld when we move into winter time, and we have more darkness in our days, right? Our nights are longer. We move into the underworld naturally. We are now naturally coming out of the underworld, or we have naturally come out of the underworld, and we are more in the upper world, right? Like Persephone, like the myth of Persephone. She goes into the underworld 6 months of the year, and then she comes out into the upper world for 6 months of the year, and she's in the light, right? We are in the light. We have come out of the underworld seasonally, and we are cyclical seasonal beings. Like our bodies are now they know like there's more light. We feel it. Our bodies, you feel like, so many of us say often that we feel more energetic in the spring and summer, and it's because there's more light, right? And so Bealtaine is a celebration of the fact that there is more light. Let's celebrate it. Let's work with it. Let's accept it. Let's honor it. Let's love it. Let's be grateful for it. So that's something you can also bring in for your own personal practice this week. Okay, let me show you what's pulled, what I've pulled for this week. So I'm going to show you the rune first. We have the rune Suelo. This is the rune of the sun. I mean, it's perfect. It's perfect for everything I just said. This is a week of illumination. This is a week of light. And I want to say light is not always comfortable. I actually want to give you that. Sometimes light is beautiful and it's like, yes, illuminate more. But sometimes the illumination, to really allow that illumination to work, the illumination is going to have to first cut through the shadows, right? And so sometimes when we have weeks of illumination, weeks of Suelo, they're kind of uncomfortable at first because that sun, that illumination is cutting through the layers of BS, basically, layers of shadow that are not our true selves. And we have to meet that, or we're being asked to. I guess we don't have to do anything, but if you're here and you're watching this, I'm going to assume that you probably want to, be consciously connecting in with the energy of the week. And so this is asking you confront the shadows that are in front of your light, right? And that's a full moon in Scorpio too. Confront the shadows that are obscuring your light, because Scorpio wants us to go deeper and own our depths and not be scared of our depths, because so often we are, that is it's very common to be scared of, oh my God, if I go deeper, what if I get lost in it, right? Full moon in Scorpio is saying, you got to go into it. As long as you're scared of it, as long as you're scared of getting lost in it, you're more likely to get lost in it, really, frankly. And so let's go into it, let's see it, because once you see it, it's so much less scary. And so that's also what Suelo was saying. Illumination. This is a week to allow the illumination to dispel what is, well, what is standing in the way of that true like brightness, lightness, that is present and available for you. And then our animal card is Armadillo. I'm going to show you this again. I'm just pulling it up. I forgot to have the page pulled up here. I love Armadillo medicine. I think this is really beautiful for this week. So here's, you can see the card itself, Armadillo. And Armadillo is about boundaries. So Armadillo wears its armor on its back, its medicine a part of its body. Its boundaries of safety are a part of its total being. What a gift it is to set your boundaries so that harmful words or intentions just roll off. Your lesson is in setting up what you are willing to experience. If you do not wish to experience feeling invaded, just call on Armadillo medicine. I love this particular card in this deck because it gives a really beautiful practice. So I'm going to share that practice with you. And the practice is essentially to make a circle on a piece of paper. And this circle is your medicine shield. It is your armor. And inside the circle, you write all the things that you desire to have, do, experience, things that give you joy. This helps you set the boundary of this is what I want to experience in my life. This is what I'm calling in. This is what I'm choosing to experience. These boundaries become a shield that wards off the things which are undesirable to you. This shield reflects what you are and what your will is to others on an unconscious level. Outside of the shield, you may put what you are willing to experience by invitation only. But then anything that you don't actually want to experience at all, it's not written down, right? So it just helps you. I think it's a very powerful practice. I really love doing this practice and revisiting it from time to time. And it really helps clarify, like, what am I available for? So a couple of questions as well that this card invites you to consider. Am I honoring the time I need for my personal enjoyment? Do others treat me like a doormat? Why do I always get upset when I'm taken for granted? Is there a reason for my being a yes person? So sit with those questions. Like, you may resonate with all those questions. You may just need one or two of those questions. But these questions are intended to help you figure out what is yours and what is not yours, and help you take back your sense of self. However, I also did a journey to Armadillo and connected in with this animal myself before starting this recording. And there's another message that I have specifically from Armadillo for this collective. So if you're here watching this, then this is for you. And the message from Armadillo. So Armadillo is really good at holding its boundaries, right? It wears its armor on its back. However, we are I want to bring back in full moon in Scorpio, Suelo, illumination, illuminating deeper into the layers that we're scared of seeing. And so the message from Armadillo for this week as well is an invitation to notice, where have you armored yourself so strongly that you are actually patching over something where that you're like, I don't want this piece looked at. I don't want to be invaded here because I'm so scared of what it might show me. So what are you holding as armor that is actually to your own detriment? Where have you created such strong armor because this is a weak spot, or this is a spot of depth that I'm really scared of going into, or this is a spot that I don't want illuminated. I don't know why I'm touching my shoulder, but I guess maybe you're watching this and you're like, oh, my shoulder, I have this pain right here, and actually that's where I am holding something. Maybe for you it's like your heart or somewhere else. But anyway, you can tap into this somatically for sure. But where are you holding armor in your energetic, physical, somatic body? that is not a strong, genuine, like boundary from your highest self, but it is a like is a reaction from your maybe from your ego, maybe from your shadow self, maybe from whatever word you want to call this, whatever name you want to give it, like the part of you that is scared of the depths, is scared of whatever is in your depths being illuminated, because well, yeah, it's scary. Sometimes going deeper into ourselves is scary. And that's just true and okay. So the message from Armadillo was, or the question Armadillo wanted me to bring forward to add to what I've already shared, is where do you need to let the illumination of this week, the full moon, the sun, the light of this week, where do you need to let it get under your skin? Like maybe you have this scab right here energetically where you're like, I cannot look at this thing. I cannot look at this hurt or this memory or this feeling. It's too painful. And so I'm going to scab it up. I've band-aided it up for myself. But it's actually always holding me back. I'm going to bring in fascia here. Okay, so our fascia is our connective tissue, and our fascia is deeply involved in how our body moves and how electrical signals are sent through our body. It is such an intelligent part of our body itself. And when our fascia, it's all through our body, right? So say your fascia right here was really pinched in. Okay. See how my shoulder is literally coming up because I'm pinching my skin as I'm doing this, right? So say right here, you have this hurt that you've band-aided up. You've put armor over this hurt, and it is pinching in your whole fascial system, and it is pinching in your shoulder. And what it actually is doing as I'm doing this, it's pinching in. My hips are shifting out of place. My ribs are shifting out of place. My neck is shifting. I can't hold my neck right. My leg shifts out of place. My tailbone is shifting. My whole body is shifting out of place because I'm pinching right here and constricting this fascia, right? So imagine or consider, where in your body do you have these things you've pinched up and you've armored up, and it's maybe actually literally constricted the fascia in your body. And you could tell this by like, oh, this is a place where I have pain. This is a place where my body feels out of alignment. This is a place where, yeah, I get like dull aches or pains, or even sometimes like sharper aches and pains or numbness, or I can't really tap into this very well. That could be your fascia literally is trapped. And so those places, I'm just going to continue using this as an example because you can see this easily on video as I'm touching here. So say you have this place that's so armored and it's impacting the flow of everything else in your body. So you might be like, oh, I just can't look at that one thing. I don't need to. I can look at everything else, but I don't want to look at this. I don't want this being illuminated. I've already illuminated it enough. But it's still here. It's still in your fascia. It's still in your energy body. It's still actually constricting flow. Like you might be able to ignore it, but your body is compensating for it, right? Your hips are out of place. Your ribs are not moving as well as they could, or they're shifted, or your lungs aren't able to move as much because you have this place right here that is so pinched up, right? Point being, you might have these places. Maybe it's 1, maybe it's 5, maybe it's 2, whatever it might be, right? These places where you have put on such armor. You've done a really good job boundarying with Armadillo, but maybe you've over-boundaried because Armadillo is saying, his message is, where have you over-armored yourself? So much so that you might actually be constricting flow throughout your whole body. And you might think that you're supporting yourself. Like, no, I'm going to protect this. But the protection has become so intense that it's constricting all the rest of your flow. That's the place that you are being invited this week to look at. And that takes courage and that takes commitment because it's hard. These places that we've really boundaried up and gone, I don't want to look at this, it's too painful. There's a good reason for that. But if you're here and you're listening to this message and you're resonating with it, it's because you also have the ability to look at it now. Like maybe you couldn't have looked at it 2 weeks ago or 2 years ago or however, whatever, right? But maybe now, today, this week, you can. And it's time to allow that restriction, energetically, fascially, always, in all the ways, to release. And how much better might that feel? Okay, I got weirdly cut off with the end of what I was saying there. So essentially, this week is asking you if you are ready to look at the places that maybe you have really like protected and armored yourself so much because they're hard to look at. It's painful to look at, but those places, if you can look at them, if you can give yourself some space and grace to connect in and bring some healing and illumination, again, Suelo, to those places this week, that's going to support you in so many ways, not just in, perhaps bringing some culmination to whatever it might be that you've been armoring yourself against and band-aiding yourself against, but also in helping or giving your whole body energetically and physically the permission and the ability to release, the permission and ability to reorganize, to restructure without having to hold space for that heavy armor or band-aiding. So that's our energy this week. I hope that this really supports you as you prepare for this week and as you move through this week. And I want to just let you know here at the end as well that I still have the intuitive readings, the quick little check-ins that I opened last week that I mentioned in last week's episode. Those are still available. They are pre-recorded or like recorded for you once you order one and just sent over to you so you can access it anytime. We don't have to find a time to get on Zoom together. So those intuitive check-ins are available if you desire any kind of guidance. And also my 4-week program to support you in coming back into relationship with your pelvis, love your lips. We start on Saturday, May 2nd, and you can still join that program. I will also have a link for that for you to sign up for it in the show notes. This is a beautiful 4-week program all about helping you connect into the physical and energetic structure and anatomy of your pelvis and to bring more sensation, vitality, life, blood flow, connection to this beautiful part of your body. This is the center of your body. The pelvis is so deeply important. The alignment of our pelvis is completely impacting the alignment and posture of the rest of our body. So very much impacts us physically and also impacts us energetically. Because think about it, if our body is like all collapsed in physically, our energy is never going to be able to fully move and flow as well as it possibly can. And so working with the pelvis physically and energetically is so important for the whole alignment of the body. And also because this is the center of our power. Sacral chakra and root chakra are in the pelvis, right? Our grounding and stability with the root chakra, our power and creativity and ability to literally create the life we want to create comes from our sacral chakra. And it's also a seat of our pleasure, right? We are going to be working deeply with the vulva as well in this work. And I'm going to be teaching you hands-on practices to really beautifully create a relationship with your body, with your pelvis, with your vulva, with your power, and with all parts of you. So I invite you to join me. We start on May 2nd. We meet for 4 weeks, and it's only $88 for 4 classes. So join me and love your lips. All right. Thank you so much for being here with me and wishing you a beautiful, beautiful week.